Uh, Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, dear friends. I am Cyril, the project and our development director, Sergey Zinenko. Today, our webinar is in the new format from the point of view of the translation and interpretation. Today, we don't have our interpreter Elena, who you know, but our audience, our English-speaking audience, are listening to the simultaneous interpreting of our webinar. That's why after this webinar, please write us a message on the format of our webinar and how you like this or what you think about it. Today we are to speak about a very important subject, very important issue, which is mentioned in the subject of our webinar. This is ISIN, which we finally obtained, and this is a great achievement of our project, which actually really excited the audience and our partners. And today Sergey Zinenko, the person who was striving to obtain this result, will tell us about that. And now please write us your questions. Everything which is interesting for you, please tell us everything which is interesting for you, and we will answer some of the questions, a couple of questions, the most important questions. Please write your questions, listen to our webinar, and I'm happy to greet Sergey here at our webinar. He is always a great speaker. Let us greet Sergey. Colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Sergey. I am the development director of DigiU, and today I will tell you what we did several days ago, what we achieved several days ago, and we were striving for that. I will tell you about the structure of our company, which is now in the European jurisdiction in Cyprus. I will tell you how we obtained an ISIN and what will change after our project has registered. The legal structure of our current legal structure belongs to the European jurisdiction. We started to work with one company which is registered in the Russian Federation, and from the very beginning of the registration process we knew that we are to achieve the European level, and we were searching for opportunities, for ideas how we can be registered in a serious jurisdiction and to work globally. In autumn, on the 7th of September, we registered the company in Cyprus. We registered our parent company, which will be the center of all our operations. This is DigiU Holdings, and we have registered DigiU Finance. Why these two companies? As you know, 10% will be issued to the people in the process of crowd financing. That's why DigiU Finance is an owner of 10% of the shares of DigiU Holdings. DigiU Finance issues notes. The correlation is one note, one share. Each of these notes gives an investor the right, gives our partner the right to obtain dividends from one share owned by DigiU Finance. 200 billion shares, 20 billion shares are owned by DigiU Finance. DigiU Finance issues 20 billion notes, and each of these notes gives an investor the right to obtain dividends, to get dividends incomes from owning one share of the parent company. We always keep to the rule that we speak less but we do more. This is just to illustrate our principle. It was written in our roadmap and we have done that. Now I will ask some questions, because your energy is always burning, is always impressive, and well, for our audience, for our partners to understand why did you choose Cyprus? Why did you choose the European Union? When we were searching for the jurisdiction to deal, there was the broad spectrum, the broad area of places where we can be registered, starting from America to different offshore jurisdictions. Cyprus, for us, is a really a reasonable compromise between the amount of money we had to spend, and these are the money of our investors, and these are hundreds of thousands of US dollars to register the company, to obtain all the permissions, to register securities, and to start dealing with the securities. And between some strange jurisdictions, and we selected Cyprus. Cyprus is in the European Union. Lots of large corporations are centered in Cyprus, and Cyprus has the British legislation, English legislation. That is why we think that Cyprus is a good compromise between a very harsh structure, and it gives an opportunity to perform lots of operations. And we have a big goal, and we need lots of opportunities. That's why we selected Cyprus. And now everyone who is going to watch this seminar, it is very important. Sergey told us a lot about the jurisdiction, about the legal scheme. And so now I would like to draw your attention to the fact that please watch this webinar again and follow the development of DigiU, how we develop, how we do it legally and globally, and how we protect the rights of our partners. I have seen the whole process. I have participated in the process. Sergey, from your point of view, what was the process like? Can you share some of the events, because this was non-trivial? Yeah, I would like to tell you that prior to us, no project has ever been registered in Cyprus, and no securities have been issued there, and we of course had to overcome some obstacles. And because no one has ever done that. It was the first ever process not only for us, but also for people in Cyprus. But it was a very successful process. Of course, there was the pandemics, the initial lockdown, the second lockdown in Cyprus, and basically it was not long ago, and we overcame that. All those obstacles, all those details, all those checks, all those controls of the address and our legal capacity. We have passed through this process. We obtained our ISIN, and the authority issuing the ISIN, this international securities identification number. This is the Cyprus Stock Exchange. For those of you, dear colleagues, who don't know what is an ISIN, ISIN is an international securities identification number, which means that every security issued on the planet to be able to be accounted in the systems, in the accounting systems, to be, for different operations, so that you will be able to sell them, to account these securities. It should have a code, a unique number, which shows that this security exists and it corresponds to certain requirements, and everything is available so that you are able to work with this. We have passed through the whole registration process. We have obtained this international identification number, and I would like to congratulate you and us, of course. And now we will tell you all the details. This is a big achievement. Yeah, I would like to join the congratulations. As I have mentioned earlier, this is a large achievement. This is very important, and this shows the professional level of the whole team, which deals with the development of this project at all levels. We have already published a very detailed post about that, with all the details, with all the data, with the ISIN number. You can read this post, and of course, please read this post. And today we have already obtained the paper from the exchange, and we will publish that in all our official publics. And please subscribe to us, please follow the project. Now I will ask simple questions, and you will explain it in your own words. What opportunities are available to you right now? What opportunities does this ISIN give you, and what opportunities do we and our partners, our investors now possess? Of course, we as ecosystem, what opportunities do we have as an ecosystem? Of course, having this registration in the official jurisdiction, we can do lots more deals. We can buy teams, we can buy the whole with the whole startups and teams. We can participate in state tenders. We are now a fully legitimate unit, not only in Russia, but also in the European Union and in many countries, in most of the countries, recognized by the Cyprus legislation. Now you can inherit these securities, you can hand over the securities, you can pawn the securities, you can account them in your portfolio. So basically you can perform all the operations you can do with the shares of any large company. This is very impressive, of course, and you can get dividends. And another question, one more question, which is interesting for many. Now, with these shares people have in the account, in the personal account, how they can exchange them for securities. Of course, first, every client has to pass the KYC process, because this is what is required by the regulation, because we have to know about the people who would like to use our services. This is the normal requirement. This is the normal terms of operation, because we must know who are our co-shareholders. We will start this process within the next weeks, in the coming weeks, in March, maybe in the end of March, and we will start with the network leaders. Everyone has to send us the last name, the personal details, last name, patronymic name, the address, banking details, and so on. And now we are developing this set of information we will be requiring, which will be necessary, which we will ask from you. After we get this information, we will prepare the register, the list of the owners of notes in DigiU Finance, and we will make entries into this register. And for each of you, we will get the special document. For those who would like to get it mailed, we will send it to you. We will prepare that, and this will certify that you will have a certain number of notes. And this will certify your rights for a certain number of shares. Of course, one share for each note. One share, one note. We will start this process in a couple of weeks, and this process will last as long as it is required, because we have over 7,000 investors, and we will have to perform this process with each of these. Of course, it is clear that the confidence in the project and the understanding of your professional level, of your team, is now increasing with each of our achievements. And as Sergey has already mentioned, this process of identification, verification of investors will be a step-by-step process, because this is an international project which includes over 180 countries. Each country has its own requirements, documents, papers, and of course this process should be formed in such a way so that we could verify each owner in the best possible way, and so that you as owners of these securities could get them and perform all these actions which Sergey has mentioned right now. And well, before of course, now we will there is a question before we deal with payment of dividends. How will dividends be paid due to the fact that now we have securities? As we have registered securities, now there is a variant that we can pay dividends directly by bank transfer. There is only one issue right now. Not everyone has a portfolio large enough, and the fee for this deal can eat some of the dividends. And in the near future, we will make this process as it has been, but we are looking for better variants so that we could behave as any large corporation, so that the money will be paid to your bank account, to your card, and so on. But this is a matter of the future. Of course, well, again, I would like to remind you that first we do and then we tell it to you, because this is our internal, our inner code of ethics, and this is what we would like to tell you. We have lots of news, we have lots of opportunities related to these securities. We are not yet ready to tell you about all of them, and after everything is ready, you will know about that. Please stay with us. There will be lots of interesting things. There will be lots of interesting impressions, and we are just at the very beginning of the process. Well, I can just join Sergey and Sergey's words, and I would like to tell you that DigiU does it in such a way so that the interests of the partners and investors are taken into account, and so that the project could reach its goal. Verification, payment of dividends, all further processes will be, of course, adjusted, will be perfect, will be made perfect. It will be like ideal, and we are not in a hurry. And we are not going to make any like loud declarations. We will do, we will check, we will control, and we will tell you how it goes. Your goal now is just to follow us, to follow our news, to support our project, to do information promotion, and to get dividends, to obtain dividends, and just join our ecosystem and earn money. Our goal is to do our job professionally so that our goals will be achieved. And now I would like to start with questions, if we have them. We will answer some of these questions. Well, could I please look at the questions closer? Dear friends, that's a very simple question. I think I can answer that. ISIN has 12 numbers, while DigiU has 6. It was not an ISIN number. It was not an ISIN. It was a registration number. Yeah, it was a different number. In that post which I mentioned, please look at our chat, at our either Russian chat or English chat, or in our channel, and there are posts over there, and you will find a post with the ISIN. And there is that code, a 12-digit code in there, because everyone has already checked it, has already looked at that, everything is fully all right with it. Any other questions? Where can we find this? Yeah, that's the same question. You can see it in the post which we have published. After the webinar, we will attach this post to this stream in the comments or in the description of the stream. You will find that ISIN. Yeah, and we will publish this, of course. So this is a document, this is a letter from the Cyprus exchange, which confirms that DigiU Finance now has this ISIN. Yeah, we will publish that, of course, in our post, which we will publish very, very soon. And again, it will be published in the personal accounts, so you can find it in your personal accounts. Some other questions from our partner. Sergey, please read the question. And now I would like to greet the representative of DigiU in Indonesia, which very effectively promotes our project at the level of information, for you to study the information, to analyze the information. Again, the question. If I understand it correctly, the question is, lots of partners have purchase the share for their children. What does the KYC process look like? The legislation of different countries has different opportunities, has different details for underage children, underage citizens. And for each of these questions, we will consult our legal subcontractors in each of the countries, for each of the countries. And for each country, we will give a separate answer. To undergo this process as fast as possible, I recommend to have this process for adults in your family, and after that we will master this process for underage, for your children. We will do everything which depends on us, but to have it as soon as possible, as fast as possible, it is better to have it for the adults. Of course, we will speak about the order of KYC separately, and we will give some explanations, or we will have a video which will be translated into all languages. This will be a separate process, a big process, and it will be a step-by-step process with consultation of legal officers. Where is an office? Is there any office somewhere where partners, investors can see each other? Well, you can come to us. We have already had guests. They come regularly. Alexander, for example, our partner who has visited us lots of times. At our website, in the personal account, there is an address of the office where we are located, where we work, where we operate, and we have over 35 employees in our team. The city of Novosibirsk, business center, Vremya, time, Kirova Street. It is mentioned in all our, everywhere. It is mentioned everywhere. It is in the maps, it is in the registration data, in the registration papers. We have invited you lots of times. If you want to do that, please contact us beforehand via our technical support or our chats. You will get an answer from community managers. You can coordinate your visit if you need it. Maybe you would like to meet me. And we have regularly had bloggers who have interviewed us. It is important for us to understand, for you to understand, that from the first day of its existence, DigiU is a transparent company. We understand at what market we operate, what partners we have. We understand the specifics of our work, of our operations, and this short distance, this closeness we are trying to achieve by our webinars, by the communication in the chats. We understand that in the modern world, this is the basics of confidence. This is the basic of our work, and it allows us to work in more than 180 countries for over 7,000 partners which we have right now. Some of them have purchased shares more than once, and this is what allows us to achieve our results, because those values we show, we broadcast, we of course have in our team internally. Our team is growing, our team is getting more and more professionals who develop AI services everywhere, who get patented, who create very fast all those products which bring incomes. My compliments to you, Sergey, my gratitude to you, Sergey, and this is what we are doing, and this is what we can do well. I think from the point of view of legal aspects, I think we have answered all questions in a very detailed way. Now, Sergey, your recommendations. Just as Sergey Zinenko, what can you tell to our audience? Dear colleagues, I would like to tell you that every day, every single day, we are making steps to create a special world. And in this special world, there are tasks for us and there are tasks for you. You help us, we do that. Together, we are forming this synergy, which is sort of changing the reality and creating those things which never existed before, to get products which allow you to get incomes much higher than bank deposits, to create products which can be further sold and to get this intellectual property and to pay dividends to you. We're doing everything to create abundance internally in the team and for all our partners. We're focused on this all the time. This is what drives us. This is what inspires us. And this is why we wake up every morning and why we go to work every morning. I'm pretty confident that we will do everything so that your expectations and our opportunities will be blended together to create something which has never existed before. We were the first in this market to pay dividends because we have created our project. We have developed our projects and we have turned it in such a way to make it very simple and understandable business, which allows our partners to earn money and allows us to create a small piece of abundance which will grow and grow for our partners. I am sure that this investment will be one of the best investments in your life. Please ask your questions, study information. Don't give up before you are sure that we are real. We do what is important for us. We are doing what is important for us, and we are doing that for you. Thank you for your confidence. Thank you for your participation. Only together we can do everything. I am 100% in that. I am really very excited I was very excited to listen to these words. Dear friends, it is really difficult to add something. I would just like to remind you that on the 1st of March, the price of the securities of DigiU will increase, and you still have time to purchase them at a very profitable price. And we have already told you that after we have the first holders of the shares, this price will increase a little bit more. So I would like to focus your attention on that point, and I would like to ask you to distribute, to share this webinar, to share it with everyone who is interested in that. Just maybe publish it on your social media and just say that these guys have achieved magic results within just 1 year and 6 months. And again, the price of the shares of the securities is a better word, starting from March 1st is increasing. On the 1st of March, now you have an opportunity to purchase the securities at a profitable, at good price. And I would like to inspire you to use this opportunity. Thank you, Sergey, for this webinar, for this information you have shared, for these inspiring words. And now, please, dear friends, write your questions. We are always answering them. I thank you for participation.